Hello there everyone, this is Quiversee and welcome back to more Hat in Time. Last time we went through the first act of the Arctic cruise where we had to reassemble a busted up timepiece that the seals dropped and somehow didn't break space-time. And this time we're going to be going back in. Unfortunately, this is post-commentary because guess what? The audio that I had recorded on the previous one was completely unusable. So to make a long story short, something is going wrong with my main computer and I need to get a new one and it's messed up my audio setup. I pretty much got it fixed right now, but what I had before, nah, as soon as I put it in, nope, nothing doing. It did not want to work right. Like 80% of what I was saying was just completely cut off. I do have it fixed now, so it should only impact this part, but that's where we are. Anyway, ship shape. This one kind of catches me a little off guard, as we'll see in a moment. But, yeah, they found lots of stuff. And one of those stuffs happens to be our timepiece. But I want to see what else is in the box. So, do a little bit of crazy camera work after trying to see if there's anything else besides oopsie whoopsie on the blue screen. And we get to take another tour of the box, similar to the toy box in the ship. A little trickier to get into though, as you can see. But yeah, they lost Snatcher's book. There's a balloon tied to some weird orange thing. Another book called How to Port Bookstore. A penguin hat. A purple block with glasses. Green shorts or something with a cookie and a padlock. Don't really know what that's about. Like, I don't know if that's like actually shorts or if that's just a sticker. A bunch of food like a banana, a salt shaker, some milk, some cheese, and some meat. There's even a toaster complete with toast. Another book that says How to Write Lore in 5 Minutes. Some bird hats, some meatball wine, an egg, the conductor's knife, a yak token, a tiny crow, and a cow. Same as one of the ones we got from the, for the relics. And just like with the doggone toy box on the ship, this is just super cool. I think it's especially apropos that they have this How to Write Lore in 5 Minutes book in there. But yeah, just a fun little tour of some extra hidden Easter eggs.
Hi, miss. How can I help you? Oh? There's something you want in the lost and found? The captain lets us pick something from it if we work very, very hard. Maybe you could help.
And it's at about this moment that I realize what it is about the seal's speech patterns that really bothers me. It's the fact that a lot of the W's they add in the text boxes aren't even pronounced, such as that something, you know? I think that that's what it is that bugs me, is the fact that it's inconsistent with its own nonsense.
But you'd have to ask him nicely. Just follow the mess to his room.
Anyway, as to how this stage goes... Oh, wait. Forgot about that. So as I was saying, as far as this stage goes, I gotta admit, this one kind of catches me off guard in more ways than one, as will be very evident once I actually make it to the captain's room. And I've got to admit, because of how much it throws me for a loop, I am extremely upset that I lost the audio for this. But, you know, what can you do? As an aside, I am constantly getting lost trying to find my way to the captain's room. It's not even that hard to get to. You just gotta go up on the side path here, hop up the spring, and you can already see I'm getting a little lost here, but it's that door. For some reason, I keep forgetting that door is where it is and try to go to where that spring, the other side of the spring is. Anyways, Captain! Ah, she salutes him! I didn't even notice that in live. That's kind of cute.
What's that, pup? You want to help out? Huh. Sure. Maybe something will get done around this mess of a boat for once. It'd be a first.
I still feel bad for this poor guy.
All right. You'll need to deliver drinks, some food, and a few other things. And do it quickly, pup. Oh, and there are some other jobs that'll need doing, so pay attention. Are you ready to start?
Heck yeah.
Good. You can start by getting rid of some of these boxes for me. It's starting to get messy in here.
And here is the mission. We have to complete 18 tasks. Each task is find a thing to pick up and then drop it off somewhere else. Of all the stages, this thing reminds me of the big parade where there's like, you know, where there were like the stickers and stuff like that just popping up that you had to get to within a certain amount of time. That's what this whole mess reminded me of. So we started off by throwing away some Chinese food and putting a lobster in an oven. Now we're going downstairs to do some laundry. That laundry is up on that high shelf. I tried to jump up there. Doesn't really work, but what you're supposed to do is that. Use the cart as a a stool, as it were. Now you also notice that at the bottom right, there's that face meter. That's the captain's mood, so to speak. Right now, he's pretty calm. Anyways, got the lobster out of the oven, and we're gonna throw some fish into the other oven. The ovens that are actively spouting fire, I might add. Very not safe. Give the lobster to the owl. I don't know if owls would eat lobster or not. I know they mostly eat rodents and stuff like that, but I'm sure they would like seafood. And then we move on over to the luggage area, which I think is like the main lobby. Yeah, that's the main lobby. So I'll tell you right now, as I'm, switching that. So first of all, the scooter, bad idea because it's really hard to control.
Uncoded messages along for me.
And yes, the crows are sending secret messages.
Thank you for these ordinary letters.
But,
Messenger.
something that takes me way too long to actually realize. Like, way longer than I'd like to admit. You'll notice the icons on each of those little bubbles. For the longest time in this, I thought that those were indicators of the task. Like, do you see that yellow one that shows the picture of the seal statue? I thought that meant, oh, I needed to give this thing to a seal somewhere. No. Those icons are meant specifically to represent the location. So that seal statue isn't meant to say, oh, I have to give this to a seal. It's, oh, I have to go to the garden area where that seal statue is. That's what it means. And I don't realize that until almost the very end of this. Needless to say, this causes things to not quite go so well. For now, though, things are pretty straightforward. We got ourselves some towels and a baby. How did these babies even get out of their playpen is what I want to know. It was protected with barbed wire. I mean, I alluded that there's no way that, you know, if these things take after the conductor that it would be a good way to hold them, but I didn't really take it that seriously until this. Also, yeah, you might notice that they're kind of tilting over. That's using the same thing as, you know, when we had to pick up the glasses that the seals dropped in the first stage. So it's tilting over and it might topple over. That being said, I don't know if it actually can fall, but one thing I didn't really mention at all while this was going on that I did kind of notice is it does affect your movement. Like, it makes it a little bit trickier to move. Anyways, another thing that I feel is worth pointing out, the arrows. You see those arrows, those yellow arrows that are pointing in directions? Yeah, they're not the most helpful thing in the world. In some areas, they're pretty good. Like, they did manage to get me to this room, but now they're pointing into that wall, which does not help me on getting to where I'm supposed to get to. That being said, I don't really remember how to get up to that top part anyway. And you can see that it's about to go and expire. I'm supposed to get to that extra balcony up there and wait for it. Nope. The towels disintegrate and the captain gets a little grumpy. He's not happy with us not getting that task done. But now we are just holding 2 children. And thankfully, unlike with the towels, I do know where to put the kids. That being said, I get a little confused following the arrow. Like I said, the arrow is not the most helpful thing in some situations. But right here it is helping me, because I would not have thought to go this way and up the ice path. But now we're on the top deck, and I just gotta get to the daycare. Both of these are about to expire because I picked them up at roughly the same time. And Captain is starting to get real mad, as you can see down at the bottom right. One of the babies just disappeared. So, you know, that's not good. Hopefully the conductor won't be too mad that one of his kids just kind of disappeared. At least he won't be as mad as the captain, I don't think. I don't know. That captain face looks pretty angry. Either way, we got ourselves some drinks and another baby. Baby, thankfully, just goes into the neighboring room. Very easy to fix. And if you'll pay close attention, when we drop off the baby, the captain gets a little less mad and the meter goes down. So basically the way it works is like the meter of the captain is constantly going up. His frustration / impatience / whatever you want to call it is constantly getting worse. By finishing tasks, it goes down and calms him down. But failing tasks makes it spike. And we don't want to see it get to the maximum anger. Last thing we need is for him to compare us to the seals, you know? Anyway, yeah, this arrow is like literally pointing us into the pool constantly. Because it wanted us to go here, through that door. That right there is like the key example of what I mean by the arrows are kind of a problem. And this is kind of the point where I'm like, screw it. I'm not following the arrows anymore. Or at least not when it's being stupid like that. Anyways, drinks for the owl. And then we got ourselves 2 things in the dining room. So on our merry way there. Actually, I think this right here is the moment that I realize that it's rooms and not tasks. Yeah, it's right here because that one had a picture of the plate and fork, but it was a baby. This was the moment I realized it. Like I said, kind of late in, halfway through. Anyways, tasks here are baby and dirty dishes. So, we go to the kitchen, drop off the dishes, pick up the cooked fish, which took a lot more time to cook than the lobster. Feed the fish over to the mafia. Now we just gotta take the kid over back to the daycare, which as you can also tell because of the pool icon up there, that the next task to pick up is very close by to it, since the daycare and the pool are right next to each other. And thankfully the elevator made this very, very easy. Alright, 2 drinks, and they are both in the same room, just up on the higher level. This is going to be very good for the meter of the angry walrus cat, as he is now happy, or at the very least, content. Only 4 tasks remain from here. One of them is currently in the seal garden, one of them is on the side deck. In fact, I think at this point, a second one popped up on the side deck. Couldn't quite tell there. And it's another child! Which means back the way we came. How many of the conductor's kids do we have to save at this point? I honestly am watching this back, and I can't remember if it's 4 or 5. Either way, we failed on one of them, so take for that what you will. Off to the side deck we go, and thankfully we can just jump off the top deck to get there. Nice little shortcut. And get down to the bottom of it. Oh yeah, I remember these items. Batteries. And a toolbox. Toolbox is for pretty close by. As you can see. That seal needs to do some maintenance. And the batteries are for, of course, our good friend, the power octopus. And then, of course, there's only 1 task left after that, and you can see by the icon that it's up in the captain's room. Which is pretty convenient, I dare say, considering that, you know, the captain, he's the one who's going to reward us, allegedly, for doing all this. Deliver that battery, and we just gotta go do that last task. Off to the captain's quarters. Which, as I mentioned at the start, I sometimes get a little bit lost on getting to. But thankfully, this is the last time I need to worry about it, at least for now. Go back this way, climb up the side deck, and hop up there. Captain's starting to get a little impatient, but what can you do? And wouldn't you know it, he got more Chinese food. I don't know how he got more Chinese food in the time it took us to do this entire thing, but I do genuinely love the fact that we are ending with the same task we started with, throwing away a box of Chinese food for the captain.
Attention, this is your captain speaking. You can stop now, pup. Come back to control, I guess.
I also don't think I ever mentioned this, but I love that he calls our character Pup.
Well, looks like you actually cleaned up more mess than you made, pup. That's more than most of the crew can manage. Help yourself to something from the lost and found. Nobody ever comes back for that stuff anyway.
And here's where I have a real question. No one ever comes back for the lost and found stuff. Like, that piece of time that we're getting is our property. Technically, we are coming back for it. So why did we have to work for our own property? You know? Like, did they just not realize that it is ours? Do we not have any way to prove that it's ours? I guess that might be that makes more sense. But it's like that no one ever comes back for that stuff anyway line. I feel like there's a disconnect there, you know what I mean? At any rate, that is another timepiece.
Hi, miss. How can I help you?
Oh yeah, I wanted to see if the seals said anything different. And they don't. Timepiece get. And I'll be honest, I probably should have stopped it around there. But you can see the video length. You know I didn't do that. I mean, yeah, it's a little bit short at this point, but I grossly underestimate what comes next. The finale. Chapter 6 is pretty short, turns out. Only 3 acts. And I decide, you know what? We're doing it. Rock the boat. Things go from 0 to 100 pretty quick here. As you can tell, the ship is not going to be in good shape anymore. Of course, things start off pretty straightforward. Captain's up on the top deck, and there appears to be a timepiece off in the distance. So let's go... Oh yeah, I wanted to put the map badge back on. Still nothing, for now.
Do I not look busy to you, pup? Go play somewhere.
He does not, in fact, look busy.
Let an old captain relax. The seals can handle things for a minute.
I doubt that. I highly doubt that. Even if he does deserve the break.
Hopefully they've learned not to mess with the steering wheel by now.
And it was at this moment that I realized... So, when I saw that picture... Oh, hold on. Almost forgot about this guy.
They serve fish in kitchen. Also, fish are guests on boat. Mafia try not to think about this.
The less thought about what that mafia said, the better. But yeah, when I first saw that image of the boat sinking and like Hat Kid holding on to the conductor's babies, I was like, oh no, what are the seals gonna do? How are they gonna mess this up? And then he noticed the captain is out and about and left the seals to watch over the controls. But then nothing happens. And we're just able to run around on the boat. Free of any concern of whatever the seal nonsense is going on. And that's when it hit me. The seals aren't the ones who are gonna cause a problem here. Oh no. Hat Kid is no stranger to causing problems. And we have been told that, oh, the seals have been told not to touch the steering wheel. And the captain is not at the steering wheel. And there is a timepiece out on an iceberg. Doesn't take a genius to figure out what's about to happen next. Hop in the captain's chair. And we can control the boat. At this point, you can literally just hold left or right and steer the ship. Apparently, to a point where it tilts really bad.
The captain has a message.
Hand me that microphone. Who's at the wheel?
Hi!
We're headed straight for an iceberg. All hands on deck.
And thus, Hat Kid crashed the ship into an iceberg. I still can't believe that that's what happened. Up until, like, I started running towards that captain's chair, I could have sworn up, down, and sideways it was going to be the seals that caused a problem. But no! The seals did nothing wrong here. And now the ship has capsized. Everything is broken. Everything is tilted. The ship is going down.
It's all going down, Pup. Never thought I'd see the day. Her maiden voyage, too. Won't take more than a few minutes for all this to hit the seafloor, I think. Well, you might want to get to a lifeboat, Pup. It'd be smart.
It would be smart, but as you can see, it's also not that simple. Because while the ship is sinking, this is not just water, this is Arctic water. It is cold and will cause massive pain. On top of that, we have children to save. But even more important than that, the map badge is pointing out things, and I need to go find them. So that's why I completely ignored that small child there and went over this way. Don't worry. They'll still get saved. It's kind of necessary to progress after. But even watching back, I have no idea where that was or how I got it. I was dumbfounded when I got it before, and I am still dumbfounded now that I knew it was coming. This room is the only room with a worse water situation than the rest.
Going.
Because as you can see, it's charged up. And unfortunately, we can't really do anything to save Mr. the Octopus. He's just plugged into the ship as it's going down. I certainly hope that he's able to handle the extreme temperatures and water and all that. He's still my favorite character on this ship. Like, I love the captain, and I love all the cameo people. But I think that the Power Octopus might be my favorite character on the ship. Just because he is a character. You know what I mean? They didn't have to make the engine a character, but they did. Anyways, we got ourselves a single seal. And now we can pick up the small child. And yeah, even though the water is Arctic cold and will cause pain, thankfully you can jump into it briefly without it hurting you. Although it's at this point that I get a little bit confused because of another arrow pointing me towards things. It's like it's literally putting me into the water, but I just decide, you know what? I'll worry about it later. I need to go in a direction. And I decide to go this way, which means I gotta break this luggage to open the path. I completely passed that seal at first. And now I'm just like, nope, I don't want to pick up a fourth thing. I want to make sure I don't drop anybody, so we're going to backtrack to the lifeboat. And you can see that the lifeboats are thankfully indicated on the screen as well. Just gotta hop down and put them all down. Now we gotta go get that last dude, who, in reality, I should have gotten them while I was down there. I shouldn't have backtracked without all of them. But I was paranoid about the tilting, you know? I still don't know for sure if you can actually drop them. And I was not about to take that chance, you know? Not in this situation. Get the last child. And then we gotta go back. This time taking the low road through the kitchen. because I just did not think to go back the way I actually came from. Thankfully, there are all these ponds here to help kind of point us the way. At least part of it. And yeah, this is kind of the path that I think you were expected to take to get the seal or baby or whatever that was in here. I don't know why I thought to jump there. Oh, right, because I was trying to... I'm parsing out the arrow again. I actually don't... Like, I'm watching back at this and recording this. I don't even remember if I find the one that arrow is pointing to. Like, I know I find at least one more rift token. I don't recall if I did this, if I find this one. Oh, I do. It's right there. I also can't help but notice that a lot of the rift tokens here don't have the sparkle that they usually do, which is kind of weird if you ask me. Anywho, we managed to get the child back here to the casino, which means we are very close back to the lifeboats. And then I fall in the Arctic water and hurt myself again. Twice, in fact. I actually don't know what I'm trying to do here. Like, I need to stand on that metal beam between those two boxes. I think I might not have realized the beam was there. That's the only thing I can think of. Because that was a very stupid series of jumps I tried to do. Anyways, this is the last child. And with that, the lifeboat moves. And sends us over here. And now, there's a new path. So we can move along. So yeah, the lifeboat actually moved on without us. But there's more to save in this new path. Hop up on top of the suitcases. And now we can get on the top of the ship, which is really the side of the ship. But it's the top of what is currently left of the ship. And the icicles are falling down from the iceberg we crashed into. Thankfully, they come with convenient red targeting lasers, so we can avoid them. How thoughtful. Anyways, we got ourselves another seal. And... I don't even remember where... Oh, no, I remember this part of it now. Observe! That was not intended.
Whoa, you're like pretty strong, huh?
There's no way that the jump I just did there was the intended way to do things, and you will see why in a bit, because of what is intended as far as I can tell. Anyways, if you'll notice there's some icebergs down there in the water. Yeah, I'm completely blind to those. Though I do see a rift token up on top of this iceberg. And I get to where I want to get it. But, yeah, I end up falling. And now I'm down in the Arctic cold. And I try to go in there, but that's glass, not an opening. And we die. Which unfortunately means a reset of gathering up the dudes. Thankfully, only from past the first lifeboat. So we climb! And follow the path we did before. Except I fell down here for some reason. Why did I fall down here? I don't know why I went that way. Like, that looked intentional. For the record, the post-commentary is happening literally the morning after I recorded this, so I don't know. I don't know how I'm forgetting stuff that quickly after, but here we are. Anyway, pick up that seal. And here's where things take a bit of a turn. Because this time I fell down, but on purpose. But definitely not where I wanted to be. So yeah, down here is where we're actually expected to be at this point. And this is the path that I missed before. This is how you get inside this little opening and pick up the conductor.
Be careful, lass! Mind me feathers.
I do love that we end up having to save the conductor himself. I definitely didn't expect that. Anyways, next I try to go after the fish man again, and you'll notice there's no way to climb up here. At least not from where I am. So I gotta figure something else out. So I just decide, what about this iceberg? Never climbed up here. And there are some very clear indicators that, you know, you are supposed to climb up here. And then there's that seal. So yeah, couldn't make that jump. I tried, it didn't work. But if we go back up there, like we saw him briefly, there is a seal with an arrow. I do not like that particular seal. Because as you will notice, he points us in this direction, as do these pawns. And there's nothing here. That seal is there for a very good reason. But at this point, I'm assuming it's trolling. Or at the very least that I am just blind as a bat and missing something. Neither of these things are true. Because there is in fact nothing. Nothing that is, except a very unintentional way of doing things. As you will see, there is a small platform down there. And there is another platform down there at the base of the iceberg. I am blindly trusting this seal. So I jump down. But then I quickly come to realize this was a mistake. Because there is absolutely nothing down here. And yet, by coming down here, I have made the best decision. Because I can do this. I don't know how I managed to work that. But it worked. Somehow. Anyways, from up here is how I decide to go and get the fish man.
Whoa, you're like pretty strong, huh?
Far as I can tell, what I'm supposed to do to get the fish man is jump up here and then jump across. But I kind of just did it backwards. Anyway, there's still one more dude to save, but the lifeboat's right there, so drop him off. And then we go get the last guy, who is on top of the ship, over this way. Just following the pawns makes this pretty straightforward. He's on top of that little light, and it's Don Spaghetti! And more importantly, a very easy jumping point to get that token. Hop on down.
Don't wait up for me, pup. Get in a boat and scram. This is my dang ship, and I'll go down with it.
And here's where the captain tries to go out on his own terms. Like, I knew this guy was sad, but dang.
Wait, lass, where are you going? You want to save him? I'm not gonna hang around a sinking ship. If you don't make it back quick, we'll leave without you.
Yep. The conductor puts us on a time limit to save the captain. And, like, I just feel bad for the poor guy. I mean, think about his time rift, where the captain he looked up to the most died on a sinking ship. And now he's trying to do the same thing. Like, I think that's what it is. It's not that he wants to die. It's that, you know, how do I put this? He's doing it because it's what happened to his mentor specifically. Like, if his mentor had passed it any other way, I don't think he'd be doing this. Then again, it might also just be his really sick and tired of dealing with the seals too, and this is just his way of not having to deal with it anymore. But I think it's more a matter of he finds this poetic, and he's being dramatic as a result. That's my interpretation. Luckily for him, Hat Kid doesn't do dramatic. At least, not in a traditional sense. And she is going now to save his life. But will we make it in time? We only have 12 seconds left to get him. 10. 9. I just now noticed that that timer is not counting in actual seconds. Anyways, there he is. Pick him up.
Where's the lass? The ship is sinking. We gotta get out of here. Come on. Get over here, lassie. We're leaving now.
That conductor might seem very brash and aggressive, but you know what? He ain't so bad. You know why?
Put me down, pup.
He gives us extra time. A lot of extra time to get the captain back. I mean, I can't say I blame him for not wanting to stick around for too much longer. I mean, stranded on a boat out in the middle of the Arctic, around a ship that is sinking and, by all intents, is exploding.
Leave me be, pup.
You know, time is kind of the essence. But at the same time, you kind of need the captain if you're going to figure out how to get home. At least I would think that would be important.
How are you so strong?
Captain poses a very good question there. How is she so strong? I don't know. But luckily for us, and for him, she is. 25 quote-unquote seconds.
Put me
How long
down.
is each of these seconds? Hang on. 1, 2... Like 1.5 seconds. Each of the seconds on the clock is like 1.5 seconds. Why didn't they just make it seconds? And then just adjust the amount accordingly? Seems a little silly to me. Anyways, this is why the seal is here. It's to point you to the lifeboat. Because now, the lifeboat's right there.
Oh, pup. Why wouldn't you just let me go down with my ship? I can't drown, but at least I could pretend for a bit.
He's a mammal. He could totally drown. He's lying.
Although, without me, this crew will never be able to get the lifeboats to shore. Fine. Crew, let's go home.
Thank you, miss.
Like, thanks, dudette. I totally didn't see this coming.
I don't think he can see anything coming.
Aye, thank you, lass. The little ones haven't learned to swim yet.
Hopefully our insurance covers this. Anyway, I can't give out refunds, but it looks like there's something shiny on that iceberg over there. Huh. Funny how our ship crashed right next to it. It's all
Yeah,
yours,
funny how that works. You know what's even funnier? Watch what happens here. Wait for it. I have no idea what happens there. But for some reason, like, I didn't cut anything right there. What just happened there happened to me. The game just kind of froze up for half a second, teleported me on top of an iceberg, and moved the timepiece somewhere completely unobtainable. I'm gonna cut ahead here because I go running around for like 5 minutes, going everywhere trying to find it. I still have no idea what happened. So yeah, this is what I end up having to do to fix this. Observe. This was the only way I could tell to fix it. And thankfully, it puts me in a good spot.
Don't forget, it's up.
It just has me redo that cutscene, and that's it. And this time, it works. Looking back at it, as far as I can tell, the thing that quote-unquote caused that was me landing on the edge of the lifeboat. I don't know why that caused that, but it caused that. And, yeah, it's, I don't know. I don't understand that glitch. But that's it. That is it for Chapter 6, with the exception of a blue time rift. A blue time rift that we will not be doing today. We will be doing that next time on A Hat in Time. Well, actually, no, we won't be doing that next time on A Hat in Time. What am I saying? Next time on A Hat in Time, we're going to the Yakuza Metro, Chapter 7. I'm gonna save that time rift for later, probably. Anyways, I haven't actually recorded the next part yet. Hopefully, I don't have any more audio issues. Again, I'm pretty sure everything's fixed. But either way, next time on A Hat in Time, the Yakuza Metro. Thanks so much for watching. Goodbye.